Throwback Thursday is back. It's been thrown back at you. And yeah, that makes sense. Throwback Thursday, everybody. We're back with another throwback. And this time it's another console, would you believe? But it's a handheld in this session. And it is in this sock. No, it's not a DSi. I've never owned a DSi, despite the fact that I own a sock for a DSi. This came free with the official Nintendo magazine, and it's a little bit floppier than it was when I originally got it. But it is used to house my 3DS. This is genuinely one of my favourite consoles ever. What's it got in it, actually? It's got Ocarina of Time 3D. It hasn't been used in a while, it has to be said. But this is a lovely, delightful and wonderful console. It's a fantastic colour. It's a nice teal. Again, looks more blue on the camera than it is to the naked eye, but you'll just have to take my word for it. It's a nice teal. You can see my website reflected in it. It's so shiny. Something that always amazed me, actually, you can't really tell on camera, but it's shinier towards the bottom than it is towards the top. It's got kind of a gradient. In fact, if I do that, yeah, you can just about tell. You can see it sort of goes a bit smokier on this side. Anyway, the 3DS, it's a chunky item. This is an original 3DS, so I think it's about the same size as DS Lite. I don't have a DS Lite to hand, but it's roughly the same size. It might be a little bit bigger. Fits lovely in the hand. It's a solid unit. Feels like it's not going to fall apart, and it hasn't fallen apart. And the thing with it is, not that I can show you because it's not even charged. Very poor of me, I know. Or is it? Well, I'll be. If this holds any charge, I'll be super impressed, because like I said, it's been ages since it was turned on last. It seems to be switching on. Well, while it's loading, because the thing is it takes a long time to start up. There we go. Incredible. It's like the original DS Lite. It feels nice in the hands. It's got good... oh, cripes, I've just activated the camera. Whoops. The camera's shockingly bad. Quit that. All the controls feel great. Even this little analog nub that they put on to appease PSP fans. I think this is actually a bit better than the PSP one. Yeah, it all feels good. Somehow this feels better than it did. I feel like it's somehow fixed itself. It wasn't always this smooth. Also, the menu looks weirdly orange and blue on the camera. It's supposed to be pink to the naked eye. Sorry, I'm getting off track here. Yeah, we have a console that can do 3D without glasses. I'm curious what it looks like if I turn the 3D on with the camera looking at it. It doesn't really look like very much, does it? Well, the way it works... Man, it still looks really good after all these years. The way it works is that it's basically... The screen is twice the resolution that it looks like on here. And so when you're looking at it in 3D, it is rapidly flicking between the two resolutions. I believe that's how it works anyway. It might be interlaced, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we can work it out, actually. If we put it up to the screen... well, okay, it's clearly not flicking between the two, because we'll be able to see it, I think. There will be some sort of flickerage. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how it works. It looks almost like a lenticular image when I do it like that, doesn't it? Anyway, the glasses-free 3D thing was incredible at the time. I really liked it. I liked the idea of it, because the thing is, I can't watch 3D films. They give me a serious headache, and I feel terrible watching them. There's various other things that happen when I watch a 3D film, but it's not a good process overall. 3DS, I could play for hours and not really be bothered by it. It was pretty great. The trouble is you have to play at a very specific angle because, well, too high and you can't see the 3D, too low and you can't see the 3D, too wide and you can't see the 3D, and of course there's no 3D on the touchscreen. So, I don't know, it's kind of situational, and it has to be said the novelty does wear off after a bit. To the extent that some games even let you turn off the 3D for better performance. Street Fighter 4 lets you do that, and it runs really smooth if you turn off the 3D. So why do I like this console so much? Well, it's just got lots of great games. I mean, you can see Star Fox 64 3D. That's a lovely, lovely version of Star Fox 64. Fantastic update. Similarly, we've got... I don't know why I keep closing it. We've got Ocarina 3D, which was fantastic. We've got Animal Crossing. It's a wonderful version of Animal Crossing on the 3DS. Still, I mean, it has... I really wish for some sort of cross between Wild World and New Horizons, because... There's reasons for that. Maybe I'll go into it in a future vlog. It's got a really nice version of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I don't think I've even touched WarioWare Gold. I've got a lot of games on here, as you can tell. But the reason, one of the other things you could do with the 3DS was these. These. It came with AR cards. So you could scan the cards. Mine are looking a little bit faded, actually. But yeah, you could scan the cards. This was the main one that actually did anything. And you could play all sorts of little games with them. And I was just enamoured by the AR games. I played the fishing game to like 100% completion. It was incredible. And I liked the puzzles. Like a lot of the puzzles in the fishing games were would you believe it switched to AR games? Huh. A lot of the puzzles were based on things like, you can only catch a certain fish if you've got it on a blue surface or a red surface. I had rainbow bed sheets when I got this, and so it was really easy. I could wax lyrical about the fishing game all day, and may do in a future video. But I wanted to discuss the circumstances by which I bought my 3DS. I mean, the circumstances themselves aren't very exciting. I pre-ordered it off Amazon. I loved my DS Lite, I still do in fact. It's a fantastic console, one of my favourites. And I was very excited about the 3DS, given that it was just kind of a more powerful DS Lite. That was the main draw for me. And the 3D was kind of like, this is going to be a pretty cool add-on. A bonus, we're going to get some 3D stuff as well. Ordered it off Amazon, full price. When it launched, it was how much exactly? UK launch price. 3DS UK launch price was doesn't actually say what the UK price was. That's frustrating. You'd think that I would be able to remember, given that I paid for the thing full price. That's very important. There's no information online. This is not very useful. 3DS price and release date announced. An article from 2011. So it was about 230. I think the RRP was 240. Sounds a lot, doesn't it, for a handheld? So much so that Nintendo actually reduced the price quite significantly to about 160, maybe 180, not long after launch. And so, for us paupers who bought it immediately and were kind of stung by that, where I can't have got rid of all my games. Come on, no. Oh dear, maybe I did. That's a concern. I'm sure I had them all on here. I'm so dumb. Why did I get rid of it all? Maybe I needed to make space for my homebrew that I installed because I like hacking my consoles. Well, anyway, for our troubles, we got like 20 retro games. We got a load of GBA games and a load of NES games and a load of SNES games, which was pretty great. Did we get SNES games? I'm sure we got SNES games because I seem to recall a Link to the Past was in there. We also got this stupid little app that was just a ticker that basically said, you are an ambassador, a 3DS ambassador. Yeah, I mean, I have to say I had a lot of fun. I was really happy to have WarioWare, the original WarioWare on my 3DS. That was great. And I enjoyed playing Minish Cap for a little bit. There were a few other GBA games that I enjoyed. Wario Land was on there. And there were 1 or 2 NES games as well that I liked. Of course, Super Mario Brothers, for example. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to... Oh, I've already gone over. Whatever. The 3DS. I would like, at some point, to get a new 2DS XL. Because I have to say the form factor is a little bit wee for my big hands. Well, sort of medium-sized hands, I guess. And furthermore, mine is missing the stylus. I lost my stylus. I'm sure I bought some new styluses, but I've clearly not furnished this one with a stylus. Yeah, there's a lot to say about the 3DS. It's such an incredible system, and I've not even scratched the surface of all the cool stuff that it did. But I will leave you with this one small and delightful little memory. So, for a long time, I mean, we've got the accessory that came along with it, the dock, much before the Switch came along and that had its dock, and still does have its dock because it's still current. This 3DS came with a dock, so you could plug this in and then just pop your DS on top. Really, really fantastic way of charging your 3DS. It sounds really stupid, but it was a brilliant innovation, and handhelds never did that before. And other than the Switch, I can't think of any other handhelds that have done it. Maybe a PSP dock would be really nice to have. But yeah, I used to have the dock next to... it was on the little bedside table that I had next to my bed, naturally. And the thing with the 3DS is that it's got... I mean, not on here, because I seem to have deleted a lot of the inbuilt apps as well, which is, again, very poor of me. I don't know why I would do such a thing. Oh, never mind. I found it. Haha. We had the Nintendo 3DS Sound app, and I had a load of songs on... Hang on, I'll just shut it down before I do this, because otherwise it'll moan at me. On... This isn't the SD card, the original SD card, but on the SD card that they gave you with the device. It takes an SD card, and they gave you a free 1GB SD card. Filled it with cool songs from the likes of Cat Stevens and Led Zeppelin, and I think that was about it. I think I may have had some Binopilot on there as well. It was around the time I was into that. Just listened to that. I've got my big headphones, just plugged it in. Oh, it was great. It was great, and they had this little animation of a budgie. Oh. There you go. That's my nice 3DS memory. Yeah, it was a very formative console for me, and I love it, and I should really play on it more often. But anyway, that's that. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Can I do the thing this time? No, still not quite perfected it.